Hi friends, welcome back. So we've got good news and bad news. So first, the good news. The stock market doesn't look like the dot-com bubble. So that's the good news. And now for the bad news. It's something worse. Oh no. The S&P 500 is trading like it did in 2007, just before the financial crisis. And I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're doing okay and not overexposed to this craziness, as this has been our market. Check out the red in the market here. You can see Nvidia's down again, Tesla's down again. We do have a little bit of green. Meta's up, and I think Amazon and Apple report after the bell. Now, I've been warning you guys about this stuff a lot. If you watch, Wall Street Verse or the YouTube Verse, I want to tell you guys, Fed's cutting rates in September. We're going to new bull market. Everything's going in the moon, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there, being on Wall Street or YouTube, whatever, that are just way out of touch with reality. I can just tell you guys, I know that regular people on the street, right, just a regular person is struggling. They go to the grocery store, things cost too much money, they're worried about not getting enough hours at work, they see layoffs, these kind of things. And when I see, whatever person on Wall Street going, hey guys, everything's great, maybe that person, has whatever Nvidia stock or AI bubble, and they're pushing you, some sort of bubble, and they're gonna buy 10 cars. But like, there's a lot of people out there that don't have any AI stock, and moreover, when Wall Street's celebrating that the AI is going to replace people's jobs, I mean, it's like, do you guys understand the disconnect here? And I always try to, show you guys as much as I can to put things in perspective and sort of temper the crazy punch bowl that we've been seeing these days. And I understand when the music is playing and it's like gotten you hyped, right? You're like excited about the music and everybody's dancing, but suddenly when the music stops, you got to make sure there's a chair for you. And kind of what's going on today is the market is actually pricing in 3 rate cuts this year, which is pretty nuts. I have not seen any talk of that kind of thing at all. This is pretty, how can I say, a big tilt in the teeter-totter change of discussion, because before it was like, no rate cuts or maybe 1, but now we're talking about 3. And then you get these headlines: Dow sell-off intensifies, drop 500 points on economic worries, right? So there's 1 rate cut was the talk, and now it's 3 because we're worried that things are slowing down way more than expected. This is it. Jobless claims. Initial jobless claims rose 249,000 last week, higher than a Dow Jones forecast of 235. And I'm not shocked. Nothing of this stuff shocks me, because literally, guys, if you follow the channel as well, you shouldn't be shocked either. We talk about this stuff all the time. I always say, hey, be careful about your job. Look at all these different companies that are firing. And I understand, guys. I understand more. If you watch whatever, Tesla pumper channel or crypto pumper channel or whatever, even Wall Street pumper channel, they only focus on like a few things, right? It's kind of tunnel visioned to say, oh, look at my Tesla. Look at Elon Musk said we're going to be awesome. We're going to sell 1 million robots. And it's like, how are we going to sell 1 million robots if like people can barely afford to go to McDonald's? like I show you McDonald's, earnings. We talk about that, and it's like, if you only look at Tesla, then I guess you just believe everything that Elon Musk says. But like, if you have a picture of the whole market, you'd be like, yo, I mean, if someone can't afford McDonald's, they're not going to buying a robot, right? Or for example, when that people are like, hey, I think those EV vehicles are a little bit much, I'm going hybrid, or I'm not even buying a car at all this year, because we've seen the car companies trying to give incentives to get people through the door, right? This kind of stuff. Like, you got to look at everything, not just, 1 or 2 things. Here's some more. So this is actually an interesting quote from someone over at Forward Bonds. They say, the economic data keeps rolling on in the direction of a downturn, right? If not recession this morning, right? So recession talk is now back on the table. The stock market doesn't know whether to laugh or to cry, because while 3 Fed cuts may be coming this year, so that's the talk suddenly, the market's talking 3 Fed cuts, and a 10-year bond yields are falling below 4%, the winds of recession are coming in hard. And so you had the banks down, JP Morgan, and also Boeing was down. Moreover, in Europe, right? European markets are down, and the banks are down as well over there. My understanding is that I think they did a cut, and they're talking about more cuts over there. People are just worried that essentially the economy is slowing too much, and essentially you got to cut to get things going. The problem is if we don't yet have inflation under control, and like we're cutting quite a bit, and the idea is we're going to give more cheap money into the system, you got a real problem here. And I think actually we could be looking at a stagflation scenario. So maybe high inflation, maybe no growth. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have high interest rates though, but we'll just say like a no growth horrible environment with inflation. So we'll put it that way. Moreover, you're talking about Japan. They're actually raising rates. They're still concerned about their economy. I think their real rate is still in the negative. And essentially, the problem with Japan, and it's going to be a problem with China as well, because they're similar situations to where things are slowing, population is declining, right? It's actually a very similar situation here in Korea as well. And the other issue as well, which just relates to all these countries, and I think it's not just a problem in Asia. I think it's going to be the same in Europe. I know Australia for sure, and USA, is housing prices are just way too much, right? So just you got to think about all those things together. People are losing their jobs. Houses cost too much. Food costs too much. We're worried about global war, right? And yet someone's like telling you your doggy coin's going to go to the moon. Like just think about this crazy environment that we're in. And we see these kind of things. Yes, mortgage rates are going to go down, but are the buyers going to return? Is that going to be enough? I still think housing prices are too high, because we've seen that just housing prices keep going up. I've been seeing it in the numbers. I feel like there's got to be a point where, I mean, it just can't keep going. Well, I guess it can. I mean, it's been in a bubble for a long time, but it just feels like, logically speaking, like who has the money to buy said things? If you guys see the prices of this stuff. And what do I mean by that? So I'll just give you some examples. What you normally want to look at is the median income, and then the how much a median home is, and like times income. So I think the numbers, for example, in the USA is like 8 to 10 times. So median income, what's the median price home? 8 to 10 times more than your income. Some of the places like Australia is like 16 times, these kind of things. Some of the places like, say, Seoul or like a Beijing, like really expensive cities in Asia, could be as high as like 20 times, like ludicrous amounts of numbers. And I think London's up there as well. It's not cheap. I don't have to explain it to you. You know this. But that's what I always say is like the disconnect that you'll see in the YouTube verse or the Wall Street verse is when people get stuck on their whatever doggy coin or whatever meme stock or meme thing that they're watching, and they think that represents everything, but it's just not the case. You got to watch all this stuff. So I'll give you another example here. Intel, they're going to be cutting jobs. I saw this came out yesterday, and it's like thousands of jobs. It's like, what the heck? So here's the issue, right? So if you're a company like Intel, and you're getting beat by Nvidia, you're getting beat by AMD, you're just everyone's basically beating you. And the only way to save your company is essentially try to get some sort of deal from the government. The government's going to try to bail you out, etc. But it just maybe turns out that you're just not as innovative. And so the problem that they face is oftentimes, if you want to get, say, more innovative, you need to spend more money to develop said products, etc. Wall Street's like, oh my God, why are you spending so much money? And then you're like, okay, fine, we'll fire a bunch of people to try to save on our costs, but then you're just kind of stuck back in that problem again. How are we going to innovate? And so then what ends up happening is the people who stay on board at the company, they're going to have to work more. And this is not just Intel has this sort of like the situation. It's many companies out there. And if you're at a job, and I'd like to hear from you guys in the community, if you've experienced this to where in your company, you're still on, but they fired other people, and then they gave those other people's work to you. And then there's like, worries about, are we growing or not, etc. I need you to work overtime. We're not going to pay you more, but just please work extra. I think they're in a bad shape though, Intel. And for those of you who follow this story, it's been a wild one for them. It would seem like they would turn around eventually. And this was actually one of the darlings of the .com bubble, but I don't know. They just haven't seemed to get back into it. And I remember I think there was a time, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I know I'm right, but I remember when there used to be commercials of like Intel Inside, and that was like a big thing. But I was trying to think about like when we stopped seeing the sort of Intel hype, and maybe it's been like a couple decades ago already, and maybe the kids today have like no brand, what's the right word to say, like brand allegiance or brand affinity towards Intel, but they're struggling. And then you put this on top of it. So like I was saying, you have these weird disconnects happening, where you have all these people worshiping, Mr. Elon Musk, and we talk about this several times on the channel. And so this is the absurdities we also have. Elon Musk criticizes Venezuela and after a disputed election, and then he's going to fight the president, I guess. like actual fight, like boxing fight. But remember, Elon Musk, he was challenging Zuckerberg, and that they ended up calling the fight off because Zuck's like, yo, dude, I'll fight you. I don't care if you're 40 pounds heavier than me. I'll take you out. And the Musk is, went to the doctors like, oh, my back hurt, and they're not going to fight. So I'm sure it's the same kind of situation. Musk talks a big game, but he's not going to fight. Moreover, which is actually really interesting, Musk's mouth has gotten him in trouble again. What's going to happen with this one? Don Lemon, so he had some sort of deal over at X, and then Elon canceled him suddenly. And I don't know if he's got a contract or something. We're going to see. But it says here Don Lemon's going to sue X. So we'll see how that one turns out. These are always like fun to watch. Do I care who wins? No, I don't care at all. I don't like Mr. Musk. I don't like Mr. Lemon. I don't like these people that much. We'll see what happens with this. But again, this is the absurdity in the market. And why am I pointing this stuff out? Because I feel like that we won't really hit bottom until all this sort of crazy stuff is gone. And to be fair, though, who knows? Maybe we're in this like clown world where it's never going to be gone. So, for example, these are headlines like 9 minutes ago. 5 ways crypto bots are ruining crypto, including auto meme coin rug pulls. Like, how is this even a headline? Like who's using crypto bots? Who's even buying crypto? And now who's getting rug pulled, right? Like the whole thing is absurd. And this says here how crypto bots manipulate meme coin markets and airdrops. And then these are things that people are talking about: meme coins, AI, real world assets, etc. Moreover, Bitcoin is down. I always check Bitcoin because that kind of represents the crazy fervor in the market. Or you got these kind of headlines: not coin to launch, story-driven Web3 game with lost dogs and get gems. And honestly, I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know what not coin is. I don't know what lost dogs is. I don't know what get gems is. And I don't think I want to know, to be honest. but this is absurdities in our market, right? And when people say like, this is worse than dot-com bubble, this is like great financial crisis. I mean, see, the thing is, guys, in the dot-com bubble, at least we were talking about real companies, like actual people with real offices, and they tried to do something crazy. They thought they're going to make a bunch of money on the internet, but it was a real company. And in this crypto stuff, I don't even know what I'm buying. What am I buying? I'm buying not coin, lost dogs, and get gems. What? True story. There was a scam over at the Bitcoin conference. That was the one that Trump spoke at, and so Musk didn't go. So what these people did was they fooled people into thinking that Musk was there, and they did like this live stream of like a deep fake of Musk, and I mentioned this before, guys, where Musk tweeted out basically a deep fake of Kamala Harris. And I said, guys, there's a real danger in this kind of stuff, right? And Musk was like, no problem. And I can do fake stuff all I want. But then like Musk gets his, and this is not Musk, this is someone using Musk's image and voice to scam a bunch of people. And right, I guess they ended up, it was a lot of money. It was like, how much was it? It was like $79,000. It wasn't like crazy amount of money, but it's still someone's out a bunch of money because they thought they were supposed to send whatever, to whatever address. You send your doggy coins to that address and you thought you were going to be rich. But unfortunately, the joke's on you. Guys, it's hard to keep a straight face up because you guys haven't seen it yet. This is this is real. This is real. Okay, so the first thing was the Elon Musk thing is fake, but the fake was real in terms of someone was scamming you with the fake. This is actually this is a real person. His name is Donald Trump, and he's selling you crypto shoes. These shoes are real, and they actually sold out. I feel like I must have missed out because people bought them for $499 and then trying to sell them for $1,500 on eBay. So for people who buy this stuff, who knows? Do people really love President Trump's crypto shoes, or is it that they're just trying to trade them on eBay? Who knows? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But for me, this whole thing is absurd, and I'm sincerely asking this question for anyone out there watching in other countries, because in USA, I'm just so used to this stuff now that they, and guys, if you don't want the $499 crypto shoes, Trump's got the low top versions of the black ones for $299. But the question I was going to ask is, are there any other countries out there to where their presidents or presidential candidates or even high profile politicians are selling you Bitcoin sneakers? This is the state of America and our markets. Trump is also selling you Victory cologne for $119 or Victory perfume. And if you don't want your Bitcoin sneakers, you can get your beer cooler for $299, your Trump slides for $149, and get this, the fight high tops are sold out at $299, but you can still get your fight I said 3 fights. Trump fight boots for $199. So and unfortunately the gold never surrender high tops are sold out. These are our markets, guys. So in my opinion, until this crazy stuff goes away, we won't go back to normalcy, because this whole kind of Trump stuff, to me, it represents people who are really struggling. They're desperate and they're looking for some sort of hero to save them. Is Trump going to be the hero that saves you? I'll leave that up to you to decide. But it's kind of similar kind of thing of where the people who think Elon Musk is going to save them, right? And that's why they, tune intently to like, oh my God, Trump's going to save me. The thing is that desperation is sort of what I look for. Like I can kind of, you can see it. It's like in public, the same way this one is as well. Hershey says, and it's called chocolate bars, which is usually a defensive, stock/company, just like McDonald's, that people are struggling with that. So I guess we're not necessarily buying so much chocolate these days. Although, true story, I had a chocolate cookie ice cream yesterday. It was pretty good. but also true story, we only buy the kind of these ice cream bar things when they're on sale. They go on sale. It's like 5 for $4 or something like that, and it's like, I don't know. I don't want to pay whatever the regular price is. We'll just say it's $2 each or whatever. I don't want to pay double. And when they go on, and plus I don't want to eat too much ice cream anyway. So full disclosure, you really shouldn't eat ice cream every day, and we don't. But we do buy it when they're on sale. And then my wife my wife always overbuys the ice cream. So now we got this is true story. Now we got our freezer filled with these ice cream bars because they were on sale, and now we got all these things, and then you feel like you have to eat them. So it's just like, I'm sharing you our personal struggles in life is too many ice cream bars in the fridge. But point being, I understand this, right? This is just the struggles of that where we live in the market. And this is the kind of stuff that you look for, right? How's the regular person feeling? Another one example is streaming services. Is these days before, well, just a couple years ago, it was like, oh my God, look at all these new streaming services. I got to sign up for this and this and this and this and this. And now we got a glut, and now they're trying to figure out how to keep you engaged. And so now they're like packaging all this stuff together, right? You guys see what I'm saying? These are all indicators of a downturn in the market, right? How is the regular consumer feeling? Because overall, when you want to talk about stocks or you want to talk about individual companies, they have to sell stuff to consumers. And for the USA, it's like 70% of the market, 70% of the economy, I should say, is consumer based. So if consumers don't have enough money to buy said products, it's going to be tough. And moreover, as I mentioned before, Apple is reporting after the bell. And now I was kind of curious. Like I just looked at myself, like, what's the new iPhone coming? I think we're at like the 15 or the 16. I don't remember. I seriously don't. Maybe it's the new 15 is coming in this I think September, October they announce it. But it's like there's nothing in there that inspires me to want to buy a new phone. And then I think it was like whatever the next year is going to be. They said it's going to be like the iPhone thin, like the 16 thin. I think is the innovation that they're going to use. And it's just like, I mean, maybe I'll consider it, but until I get my flippy phone, and I think I have a 13 mini. I forget which one I have, but it's fine. And the point is, why am I bringing this up? Is this is what the challenge for any company out there to make money is to convince you to give them money, right? And then generate profits. And so that's why we track everything. What are consumers doing? Where are housing prices, food prices, how are jobs, everything. I hope you guys, all this stuff makes sense. I know I talk about all sorts of different topics every time we do this, but I just want to keep you informed the best of my abilities. So do appreciate you watching, everyone. Be careful out there and don't eat ice cream every day, even when it goes on sale. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video.